We're back on this wonderful blustery day where temperatures have almost reached 25 degrees to go with our 15-mile-an-hour winds. Cats in Camo here. We're doing episode 2, the second half of our review on the EAA Witness. We have my basic steel course set up. We're going to do 2 rounds in the torso on the left. Then we're going to knock down each of the 5 frigid zombie heads watching me. And then finally we'll double tap the torso on the right. I have 9 targets. I have 10 rounds. Hopefully that'll be enough on this cold day in Iowa. Cats in Camo and the EAA Witness 10mm. Chicken. There you have it. Zombie heads are chicken. Cowardly even. So Allie's going to take our 10mm and unleash it on her course, which is behind us. Not a steel challenge. Allie has gone bowling. Allie.
Bad joke.
Very bad. What do we got?
We've got 4 bowling pins that we're going to be hitting and hopefully ending in the finale with shaving cream.
My shaving cream. All right. 10mm. Big gun. So I'm going to help you. Chambered. Safety on. Take it away. Little low.
It said, "Fine, I give up. Stop shooting at me." All right, everyone, we are back from the range with our EAA Witness, ready to give it a final review.
We were out in the cold with this gun, and I feel like I'm whining again because, well, I'm a man, that's what I do. But even in the cold, I had a tremendous lot of fun shooting this gun, and I would have stayed out and braved the elements longer if we would have had more time and more 10mm ammo, because that's a little pricey and harder to come by. But we're going to score what we did get to stay out on the range and do, which was our normal full complement for the video. Just wasn't enough for me. We have 8 categories. We range our scores from 1 to 5. Let's start off with comfort of grip. This larger frame fit my hands perfectly. It slid into place, never moved, and it was easy to tell where. I almost felt like I could shoot it with my eyes closed, because I knew where the gun was. It's very comfortable, and I'm just going to stop talking and tell you, I gave it a 5.
It was comfortable, it was a little big, a little bulky, but that's kind of what I expect from a large frame gun like this. So I just gave it a 3.
Well, let's talk about the sights. This gun performs well enough and looks cool enough that it was actually sent to a gunsmith who's a police officer who milled out the front and installed a Trijicon glow-in-the-dark front white night sight. So it doesn't look the same as the white dots on the front, so you have a little bit of a contrast, but it changed the sight profile from a 1 because it needed fixed. With the new sight on it, I give it a 4.
Shooting the gun in the daylight only, not getting the opportunity to shoot it at different hours of the day necessarily, and shooting it for the very first time, and you know, again, once I've shot this gun, the sights just seemed standard to me. I didn't get to see the whole night sight part of it. I just got to see 3 white dots. I could see where it is. I could see the little hole where
it's better than it would have been then.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
But, so it just seemed standard to me, so I gave it a 3.
Let's talk trigger then. I love this trigger. It's soft, it's easy to pull, and yet at the same time it's tactile. It doesn't just, you don't touch off rounds when you don't want to. That's important when you're shooting a 10 millimeter that would go through your building. I gave this trigger a 5.
I enjoyed this trigger. It was a trigger that I feel like, and I hate saying this, I can manage. There's some triggers where the pull is just too long and you never know when it's going to fire because you're just waiting. Oh, there it goes. But this one was a nice, it actually exceeded my expectations, and it felt really nice, felt really confident with it. It seemed a little bit above and beyond standard, so I gave it a 4 out of 5.
Let's talk about perceived recoil. This gun is a baby. It sits in your hands, and I shot several different 10 millimeter rounds through it, and it eats up recoil really well. Better than my Glock 20, which I love. This guy, there was none. Running tactical courses, I can't wait to go out and do some of the nastier things with this. I gave it a 5.
To me, this gun has less recoil than most, if not all, 45s that I've shot. And this is supposed to be a bigger caliber, a bigger kick, a bigger oomph, whatever.
A lot more energy to a 10 millimeter round.
So, going in, knowing it's a bigger one, you almost expect so much recoil. And he's right, it doesn't have that recoil. It feels softer, it absorbs more than I expected it to. So I gave it a 4.
Well, let's talk about accuracy. It exceeded my expectations, and with the 10 millimeter, I can get on strings where I can overlap a half dozen shots at 15 yards where they're all touching, and then I'll miss one by a wider margin than I should, I feel. And that was true with the Witness as well. So I think it might be on me, but it was still way above average for what I was expecting and even hoping for. So I'm giving it a 4 on accuracy.
It seemed really accurate. It was on point. Actually, it was so accurate that I also split the board that the pins were on in half. I don't know if the camera actually caught that, but when I shot on the paper course, it wasn't as accurate for me. So for that reason, really good, not so good, I gave it a 3.
Let's talk about ease of reload. It holds 15 rounds in the magazines. If you put 14 in, that's too many. And it actually will swell the sides of the magazines, and the tolerances in the grips are tight enough it will actually jam the gun where it'll still feed, but it won't eject the magazine. You can't put it in when it's full, and it won't come back out. If you do load under capacity and you put 13 in, it feeds clean, goes in really well and stuff. So I'm going to give it a 3.
It did seem to stick a little bit, and you have to double tap it to go in fully to the magazine. But it does drop clean. The button is easy to hit. If you give it that extra oomph, I'm just more timid. I'm afraid I'm going to break something, so I don't hit it as hard. But if you're used to it and you just go bam, I'm sure it'll click in just fine. Maybe not at full capacity, but with maybe 10 to 13 rounds, just wham, and it's going to go in. So yeah, I agree that 3 seems like a good score.
Let's talk about reliability. This gun, it feeds everything. It runs clean. I'm giving it a 5 on reliability.
Only getting to shoot this gun technically twice, once on the paper, once on the specialty course, and only having one kind of ammo to go off of, I would have to say it performed the way I expected a gun to perform. It fired, it didn't have any feed issues or eject issues. Again, on my specialty course, I did phenomenal on it. So I gave it a 3.
Let's look at ease of maintenance and cleaning. The Wonder finish on this gun makes cleaning it up unbelievably easy. Best finish ever. For just wiping it down. Things don't stick to it. It's a wonderful finish. So you take off one for the design having to hit it with the magazine, and add one back up for just how amazing the Wonder finish is for cleaning it up, and you still end up with a 3.
I am not a fan of the concept of taking one piece of your gun to take apart the rest of your gun. It almost aggravates me. Like, why? Why can't you just make it where it just comes apart without having to use other pieces of your gun? So, for that reason, I gave it a 2.
Let's go ahead and give us our totals. If you add that up, I gave this gun a 34.
When you add up my score, it comes out to 25.
The manufacturer's suggested retail price on this gun is $665. It is under $700 for this gun. And the internet value, I almost said street value, and again, that just sounds bad. You can find this gun for around $550.
Not bad.
Yeah. So take it for what it's worth, but don't take mine.
Well, that's all the time we have for today, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. And if you enjoyed this video, point those crosshairs at the like button down below. And make sure to stay tuned for more reviews coming soon. See you then.